My coworker gave me a DNA test to prove I wasn't really adopted. She stood in the break room with this huge grin, holding the kit like it was some kind of gift, like she'd just solved the mystery of the century. I'd mentioned once, casually, that I was adopted as a baby. It came up during one of those team-building lunches where everyone shares random facts about themselves. I said it the same way you'd say you're left-handed or you have a dog, just a normal part of my life. But Sarah latched onto it immediately. At first it was subtle, little comments here and there. She'd look at my family photos on my desk and say things like, "You really don't look anything like them," or she'd ask pointed questions about my childhood. "Don't you want to know where you came from?" I'd brush it off, change the subject, try to redirect the conversation back to work, but she kept pushing, started bringing it up in group settings. We'd be in meetings and she'd somehow steer the conversation toward genetics, toward family traits, toward how funny it is that adopted kids never really fit in. She'd look directly at me when she said these things, smiling, always smiling. Then the college fund thing started. I'd mentioned, again casually, that my parents had helped me pay for school. Sarah jumped on it, made comments about how convenient it was that I got that money, how my parents probably felt guilty for lying to me, how they were trying to buy my love. It was bizarre, obsessive. My manager noticed, asked me if everything was okay between us. I said it was fine, that Sarah was just going through something. I didn't want to make waves, didn't want to be the person who couldn't handle a little workplace weirdness. So when she handed me that DNA test in front of everyone during our morning break, I just smiled and said sure. My manager was there, 3 other coworkers watching, phones out. Sarah actually said out loud, "We'll finally know the truth," like she was hosting some kind of daytime talk show reveal, like my entire existence was her personal entertainment. I took it home that night, didn't even open the box, just set it on the kitchen counter and stared at it. My parents were visiting for dinner. We do that every Thursday. Pizza and whatever game show my dad's currently obsessed with. I showed them the kit and explained what happened. The room went completely silent. My dad's face went completely still. That look he gets when he's processing something big. My mom looked at him, then back at me. Her hands were shaking slightly. "There's something you should know," she said quietly. Turns out I wasn't adopted, never had been, but Sarah was. Her parents had told her at 18, right before she went to college. Same adoption agency my parents had worked with when they were considering it. Same year. They'd stayed in touch with the agency over the years, attended some support groups when they were trying to decide whether adoption was right for them. They knew Sarah's family, knew she'd been having a rough time processing everything. My mom had actually seen her at a grocery store once, recognized her from family photos the agency had shared during group sessions. Sarah never knew who my mom was. She'd mentioned it once at a company holiday party, got drunk, started crying about how her biological mom never wanted her, how she felt like she didn't belong anywhere. I remembered feeling bad for her, buying her another drink, listening to her talk, telling her I understood because I was adopted too, trying to connect, trying to help. I never connected it until that moment. Never realized she'd taken that conversation and twisted it into this weird obsession. My dad shook his head slowly. "She's projecting everything onto you," he said. "Everything she feels about herself, she's trying to make it about you instead." So I took the test, followed the instructions, sent it in. 2 weeks later, results came back. 100% biologically related to my parents. I printed them out on the nicest paper the office printer had, put them in a frame I bought from Target, walked into work Monday morning and pinned them to the break room board right next to the birthday calendar and the fire escape route. Sarah saw it during lunch, walked in with her sad desk salad, looked up at the board, and her face completely drained of color. Someone asked if she was okay and she just nodded mechanically. She tried to laugh it off, said it was just a joke, said she was trying to help me find my truth or whatever weird justification she'd built up in her head. But everyone had already seen her obsession. She'd been talking about it for weeks, in the kitchen, at people's desks, during Zoom calls when she thought her mic was muted. Our manager pulled her aside that afternoon. I saw them in the conference room, Sarah crying, manager looking exhausted. The next day, she called in sick. The day after that, she requested a transfer. Didn't even finish out the week, just packed up her desk while everyone was at lunch and left. She's at the downtown branch now. Doesn't make eye contact when we pass in the hallway during company-wide meetings. The weirdest part though, my adoption story wasn't even real. My parents just told people that when I was 4 because I wouldn't stop asking where babies come from, and they thought it was easier than explaining the real process. I never asked again, so they never corrected it, and somehow it became this thing everyone believed. 23 years of my coworker obsessing, spiraling, and eventually transferring branches over an accidental lie because she couldn't handle her own truth.